Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tirupana Chari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tirupana Chari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namne. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharne Nirvishesha Srinivadi Pasitade Shatarne. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaurabhata Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Greetings and salutations, my friends. Today we're going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, okay? Just a daily dose of spiritual nectar, my friends, for myself and for everybody else. Narada Uvacha, Bhikshurbir Vipra Vasite, Vignana Deshbir Mama, Vartamano Vayas Yadye, Tata Etad Akash Rasham. Okay, yeah, you know. My Sanskrit is what it is. Sri Narada said, the great sages who had imparted scientific knowledge of transcendence to me departed for other places, and I had to pass my life in this way. In his previous life, when Narada was impregnated with spiritual knowledge by the grace of the great sages, there was a tangible change in his life, although he was only a boy of 5 years. Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, when you come in contact with spiritual knowledge, you're going to see a difference. Just like me, I grew up in America. I had no real I wasn't religious. I believed in God, but I wasn't religious. I had no spiritual practice. And then I came in contact with the Bhagavad-Gita As It Is, and I started chanting. And ever since I came in contact with the Bhagavad-Gita As It Is, and learned how to chant Hare Krishna, I've chanted Hare Krishna every day for the past, I don't know, 20 years. Basically 20 years. I've been chanting Hare Krishna every day for 20 years. And I changed my habits. I became a vegetarian. I have a spiritual practice now. I'm more, I could say I'm a little more enlightened than people that haven't had access to this information. So yeah, I've seen the profound change in my life because I came in contact with spiritual knowledge. I came in contact with the Bhagavad Gita As It Is. That's what started me on the spiritual path that I've been on for the past 20 years. Okay. That is an important symptom visible after initiation by the bona fide spiritual master. Actual association of devotee brings about a quick change in life for spiritual realization. Yeah, so just like Srila Prabhupada says, just by reading his books, you become initiated. There's a powerful effect. You can't, nobody can deny that I had a powerful Like reading Srila Prabhupada's books had a powerful effect on me. Nobody can deny that. So, how it is so acted upon the previous life of Sri Narada Muni is described by and by in this chapter. This just shows you that we have previous lives because they're talking about the previous life of Narada Muni. So there is reincarnation. There's not one life. There's transmigration of the soul. Ekat maja me janane yoshin muda cha kinkari maya amaje nanya gatao chakre sneha nu bandhanam. I was the only son of my mother, who was not only a simple woman but a maidservant as well. Since I was her only offspring, she had no other alternative for protection. She bound me with the tie of affection. Text 7. Shasvan tantra na kalpashid yoga shemam mamet chati isha syahi vase loko yosha darumayi yata. She wanted to look after my maintenance properly, but because she was not independent, she was not able to do anything for me. The world is under the full control of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, everyone is like a wooden doll in the hands of the puppet master. So there's one supreme controller, and we are not that. We are not God. Some people think they're God. They walk around acting like they're God, even if they won't admit it. They think they're the controller. They think they're the greatest, but they're not. There's only one God, and that is Krishna. Okay, so we're all Krishna's servants, right? And that hurts people because they want to be God. They want to be the best, but Krishna's the best. There's only one person that's the best, and that is Krishna. Okay, so there's only one God. Deal with it. There's only one God, and it's not you. Deal with it, okay? So what is your constitutional position? Your constitutional position is that you're a servant of God. That is your constitutional position. Whether you like it or not, you are just a servant of God. Okay. I'm going to go live on Instagram too. I forgot to do that. Spiritual talks. Do. Hare Krishna. Okay. It's a good idea to go live on multiple platforms. So I'm going live on Instagram and I'm going live on YouTube. So let's do it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, my friends. Long time no see on Instagram. I'm live on YouTube and I'm live on Instagram. We're just doing some spiritual talks. I'm just reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. If you don't know who I am, I've been practicing Krishna consciousness for 20 years. I was a monk for 10 years. I travel the world. My main services when I was a monk, I was doing book distribution, and I did a lot of Harinam Sankirtan. Harinam Sankirtan is my favorite, and that's good because that's the best thing that you can do in this age. The most spiritual activity that you can do in this age is public chanting and dancing. Okay, it says that in by what is it? Srila Haridas Thakur says that in Bhagavatam. What is it? No, Chaitanya Bhagavat. Yeah, he says the most spiritual activity that you can do is public chanting and dancing. So I was doing that for like 10 years as a monk. I don't do it as much anymore just because, I just don't. But that's what I did for 10 years as a monk. I still love it. It's just my circumstances. I'm back in America and there's not really devotees around me. I could go out and chant by myself, but I'm just not going to do that right now. I could. I've done it. I've done it. But I still chant. I chant every day. Like when I'm chanting in my room, like public, that's still public chanting because I'm chanting for the insects. There's a lot of living entities around us at all the times. And then when I'm still chanting in public, but I'm chanting on social media too. And anyone who can hear me in the vicinity, they still get benefit from the chanting of Hare Krishna. I love Krishna consciousness. It's great. I've been doing it for 20 years, So aham cha tad brahma kule ushi vams tad upakshaya dig desha kala utapano balaka pancha hanyana. Okay. So let's do one more page. This is just a quick reading. I just like to read every day. I do a little bit of chanting. I chant my japa, and then I do my little reading, and then I'm done for my spiritual activities. And then the rest of the day I just chant. I just chant. I chant all day, whenever, just like here and there. When I was a mere child of 5 years, I lived in a Brahmana school. I was dependent on my mother's affection and had no experience of different lands. Text 9. Ekada nirgatam gehad duhantim nishi gam pati Sarpo Dashad Parash Prishta Kripanam Kala Chodita. I'm not really a Sanskrit scholar, so bear with me. Once upon a time, my poor mother, translation. Once upon a time, my poor mother, when going out one night to milk a cow, was bitten on the leg by a serpent, influenced by supreme time. That is the way of dragging a sincere soul nearer to God. The poor boy was being looked after only by his affectionate mother, and yet the mother was taken from the world by the supreme will in order to put him completely at the mercy of the Lord. So sometimes bad things will happen to you, you know, and you gotta look at it as the mercy of the Lord. Okay, like everything's the mercy of the Lord, the good and the bad. Sometimes the bad, like recently, for example, recently I've been dealing with a lot of health problems, like some internal stuff. Maybe it's liver, maybe it's kidneys, whatever. I'm going to the doctor soon, but I was in the most intense pain of my life. Okay. And after being in the most intense pain of my life, then I started taking my spiritual life seriously again. I started chanting more, I started reading more. So I see that as the mercy of God. It kind of, that pain awoke in my soul. Like it woke my soul up to like take to Krishna consciousness more seriously again, like I used to. Okay. So that's an example from my own life. I went through a lot of pain, but that pain brought me closer to God. Like pain brought me closer to Krishna. Okay. So even though it wasn't fun, so like usually your pain, like even when I was younger, you know what brought me to Krishna consciousness? Like I got married and then I got divorced. It happened really fast. I went from like super high to super low really fast, right? I got married. I was going to school. My goal is to be a musician, like be like some kind of musician or like producer or something in the music industry, right? So I got married. I was going to school and I had a decent job. I had my car. I thought everything was great. And then all of a sudden, like divorce struck, and then I lost everything, and I was in the most pain of my life. And when I reached the most painful part of my life, then what I did was I prayed to God, and then I found the Bhagavad Gita as it is. The Bhagavad Gita showed up in my life. Okay, so sometimes pain will bring you closer to God, even though it's better like to get closer to God without the pain. Like you should get closer to God before the pain strikes. Because maybe you won't have to deal with that pain. I would prefer not to deal with pain. Like I prefer not to be in pain, right? But sometimes that pain brings you closer to God. Okay, text 10. Tada tad aham ishasya bhaktinam sham ad abi 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 sata. Yeah. Anugraham ayamana pratishtam disham uttaram. Okay, translation. I took this as special mercy of the Lord, who always desires benedictions for his devotees. So thinking, I started for the north. Yeah, you just got to look at everything as the mercy of the Lord. You got to trust that everything is God's plan. Confidential devotees of the Lord see in every step a benedictory direction of the Lord. See everything. See, if you're a devotee, like you believe everything's like the mercy of the Lord, the good and the bad. Okay, it's all just the Lord's arrangement. That's how you got to look at things. That's how I look at things too. You got to trust in God. You just got to trust that everything is going to work out for the best. You got to trust in God. It's called trust. Okay. What is considered to be an odd or difficult moment in the mundane sense is accepted as a special mercy of the Lord. Yeah, this has happened to me many times. I've been in serious pain in my life, divorce, like health pain, and that divorce and the pain brought me closer to God. Okay. So mundane prosperity is a kind of material fever. And by the mundane prosperity, yeah, like once you get a lot of like prosperity, like you become rich and stuff, that's like a fever because then you start to like, you start to not become so humble. Like a lot of people, they start to think they're great. They start to think they're like God because they have all this money and stuff, and they don't really take to Krishna consciousness seriously. And it's kind of like a fever. It's kind of like you're just hallucinating. You think you're great, okay, and you've lost touch with God. Not everybody. Now, some people can have a lot of money and they can stay humble, but for most people, once they get a lot of money or like power or like something, like pride before the fall, they get filled up with pride because they think they're so great. Like, oh, I have so much money. I've done this. I've done so many things. I'm so great. And then pride before the fall. And then they don't take spiritual life seriously. That's just usually what happens. There's always exceptions to the rule, but in general. And by the grace of the Lord, the temperature of this material fever is gradually diminished and material health is obtained step by step. Yeah. We like it's okay to make money. Like the more money you have, the better. Like the more money you have, the more good you can do for yourself. Like money is good. right? Because you can use money in Krishna's service. Nothing's wrong with money. The more, the better, actually. Because like the more money I had, the more I could do. Like the more I could give in charity. I could build temples. I can distribute books. I can distribute prasadam. So like having money, like, and you can take care of yourself. But that's why you're supposed to give 50% of your income. You're supposed to donate 50% of your income to the Krishna consciousness movement. But who does that, right? Nobody really does that, right? That's how you use money in God's service. Like nothing, money's great. The more money you have, the more good you can do for yourself and for others. But like you're supposed to give 50% of your money away in the service of God, the service of the Hare Krishna movement. Okay, that's what I give my money away in charity because it's the best charity. Because you're giving like spreading Krishna consciousness. Like people need this more than ever. People are so out of touch. People are so out of touch spiritually. They need Krishna consciousness more than ever. Okay. So the best thing you can do is like use your money to spread Krishna consciousness. Mundane people misunderstand it. Yeah, mundane people don't understand that material prosperity is not a great thing. Material prosperity is fine if you use everything that you have in Krishna's service, but if you use it for your own selfish like sense gratification, that's a problem. That's when you're gonna just degrade yourself. Okay, text 11. Speed tan jana params tatra pura grama vraja karan keta karavata batischa vadan yupa vananicha. After my departure, I passed through many flourishing metropolises, towns, villages, animal farms, mines, agricultural lands, valleys, flower gardens, nursery gardens, and natural forests. Purport: man's activities in agriculture, mining, farming industries, gardening, etc., were all on the same scale as they are now, even previous to the present creation. Yeah, some people think like in the past we were a bunch of like cavemen, like ooga booga, and like caveman, but actually according to this, there's always been like civilizations and stuff like we can't even understand. We think everyone was like underdeveloped in the past, but that may not be necessarily true. So we're all on the same scale as they are now. Even in the previous to the present creation, the same activities remain as they are, even the next creation. So the same stuff is going to be going on. The mining, everything, like human civilization in general, this stuff is always going to be going on. And either in this planet, this galaxy, this creation, the next creation, is the same. The same activities are going to be happening. Okay, that's it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, you just got spiritualized. You're welcome. You're welcome from that. You're welcome. You're welcome for the spiritualization. Don't underestimate someone who's been practicing Krishna consciousness for 20 years. I'm just saying, don't underestimate. No, just kidding. Hare Krishna. Gotta be humble, man. Humble. Hare Krishna, Hare. Oh, let's do some cartels, actually. I already played my guitar. We'll play some cartels. We'll mix it up. Life is great, man. Life is great. Just be happy and grateful. Just be happy. That's your job. Be happy and grateful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hare Hare Bol, Jai Shri Radhe Sham. All right, YouTube, Hare Krishna. Instagram, Hare Krishna. That's how it's done. That's how I do it.